The Simply Successful program offers stress management tools for the lifespan, so small children, adolescents, or adults can be simply successful.
Hi, I'm Deb Timmerman.
And I'm Beth Tuttle.
Welcome to the Simply Successful program.
We teach stress management skills that build resilient kids
And create successful families and thriving communities.
In this podcast, we'll talk about how our beliefs, expectations, and perceptions create stress in our lives.
A child's brain is like a mini recorder. It picks up everything they experience in the world around them. Parents, grandparents, babysitters, teachers, their peers, media, and society all contribute to these recordings. Those childhood beliefs create the lens through which we see the world as a child and as an adult. Those beliefs can build us up or limit us and become a source of stress. Beth, can you give an example of a childhood belief that you carried into adulthood?
I actually have a great one I can share with you, and it still rears its ugly head even today. Growing up, all of my family members worked either in a factory or for a corporation. You know, they did the traditional 40 hours a week, got a stable paycheck, got their benefits. So that's how I grew up. I did the same thing. My first job was actually at an insurance company. So when I got in my late 20s and had kids, I wanted to take a different route. So I decided to start my own business. But that was not easy because I would constantly question myself. Is this the right thing? Is it safe to do this? And even though my parents loved me and supported me, they would even question that. They were worried that I should go work for a company or corporation. And now 20 years later, I'm still working for myself, and I'll still find myself questioning, is it okay that I don't have a stable paycheck? Well, I don't have benefits. And my parents still ask me, are you sure you're doing the right thing? Are you sure you shouldn't just go work for a company? And here's the ironic part, Deb. All of the companies that my uncles and my parents worked for are now closed. So how safe is it really?
Wow, that's a great example. Thanks for sharing, Beth. Well, I think if I could name the single one thing for me that I carried into adulthood, it would have to be beliefs around my body image and food. So when I think back, my earliest memory is on a Sunday afternoon. It was hot. I had been riding my bike outside. I was starving, and I came in the house and put my finger in the butter dish. My mom was making fried chicken. I can still remember how the kitchen looked and how it smelled, and I can still remember what she said to me. She screamed at me, "Deborah Ann, get your dirty little finger out of the butter dish. No wonder you're so fat." So I was a pudgy little kid, and I did already weigh a little bit more than my cousins and my neighborhood playmates, but I come from Polish stock. And I look back at the genetic line that I came from. Every woman in the family, they were more beefy, kind of European looking women. And that one memory started years and years and years of not feeling worthy and not feeling good enough about my body. I was on diets from the time I was in second grade until I left the house at 19. And I continued being on diets for probably another 40 years. I'd start when I'd go off. I even did liquid diets a couple times and lost a ton of weight. So when I think back about that little memory that's etched in my head, I can still see that little girl, that dejected little girl who didn't feel good enough or accepted because of how she was built. And dang it, I was hungry at that minute. So there's lots of other things centered around beliefs that cause stress. And if you listen to girls and guys talk, maybe who have relationship issues, you might hear things like, nobody will ever love me. Guys don't like me. I can't find a good woman. If you dig back, something happened in that person's life to make them see the world the way they see it.
Another belief might be around health. Maybe there's a long generation of family members. I know in mine it was they had bad backs. So a lot of my cousins would grow up saying, I'm going to have a bad back, or I have a bad back because that's what everyone had. Or maybe it's I have bad knees or bad hips.
So when we say that, what are we telling our bodies?
So we're basically sending a message to our body that we have this problem, and our body will listen and will create it for us.
Gosh, I can think of another one too. When I went to nursing school right out of high school, and I stopped out. It was way more than I was ready to handle. And one of the things that I believed was that I wasn't good at math. So I didn't know how to go find those resources to help me figure out how to do nursing math. So I basically stopped out. I was 19. I returned to school when I was 42 to become a nurse. And that whole time I believed that I couldn't go to nursing school because I couldn't do math. I had a hard time with geometry, but I actually was pretty okay at math. But I believed that I couldn't do it. The funny thing is, with a little help, not only did I master it, but I actually became a tutor and helped other kids who were in nursing school figure out how to master math. So we have a question for you. What childhood belief is stressing you out? What beliefs and expectations are you passing on to your children? Thanks for joining us today. To help you discover self-limiting beliefs, you can go to our website and download our free worksheet, Exploring Stressful Beliefs. You can find it at simplysuccessfulprogram.com/radio-resources. That's simplysuccessfulprogram.com/radio-resources.
Thanks for listening.